Hey you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from inside my car. And we are going on a road trip. I have to have some personal business that I have to attend to in Madison, Indiana. So we're gonna kind of make our way up through Kentucky and into Indiana. Currently traveling through the great state of Kentucky, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, if you will. And I figured, you know, we'd take the scenic route. We'd stop, see a few things, just maybe on some back roads, just kind of see what there is to be seen. So follow me. Now this here looks like an old gas station, but it's called Dancy Ceramics. I really like the name Dancy. Of course, I'd love to be able to get my hands on this really sweet vintage suitcase. Some old tobacco advertising on the window. And look over here, we have a super old Coca-Cola machine within the store. All right, be very quiet. Behind these two barrels, there's a wild toilet. And here in the bushes, we have our old gas pumps. I almost missed this over here. It's a really cool old Pepsi machine. Oh, it looks like they have the old caps in there, the indicator. That's Pepsi. The others are like almost too rusted to tell what they're supposed to be. And while you're picking up some ceramics, you might want to come next door and shop for some fish at Dancy's Fish Market. Even have an old abandoned canoe full of weeds out here in front. Here's their hours. Starting October 1st, they'll be open 3 days a week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 to 5. I like when these old lettered signs, when the letters fall off to the point where they become completely meaningless. It says FSK Berlin. That probably says catfish, but I don't know what the rest's. Back behind the old store, there's this single wide trailer. It looks like from the damage up there, I'd say there was a fire here at some point. Then across from Dancy's, we have the Lake Cumberland auction. Guess they have the auctions Mondays through Saturdays. It's open to the public. Wonder if they're auctioning off this pile of trash. I really have no idea who decided to give Jesus blackface. And I'm not saying this is not black Jesus, this is white Jesus with a black painted face. Someone even painted the faces of the children and the lamb at Jesus' feet. Just a lot of wreckage, broken up bicycles. And check that out. This is where they make Kingsford charcoal, right here in Burnside, Kentucky. Who would have known? And isn't that ironic that the charcoal is made in Burnside, you know, because charcoal burns. Also invented in Burnside, Kentucky is the Boy Scouts of America. I remember when my son was younger, he wanted to join the Boy Scouts. And so they had sent a flyer around that there was a new Boy Scout like club or section, or I don't know what they call them, a den, right? A Boy Scout den that was going to start in our town. So I took him. We showed up, and this really old guy in a Boy Scout uniform came in, and he took volunteers. Sometimes no one would volunteer, and he would just pick somebody. Like, he's like, who wants to be the treasurer? I was the treasurer. Picked me as the treasurer. He picked some guys like the president, and like he handed out all these positions. And then he like basically sent us all into different rooms to discuss like what we were gonna do. Like we had no, like this is a group of dads that like showed up thinking they were just gonna sign up their kid for Boy Scouts and be done with it. And suddenly we're tasked with creating the organization from the ground up. And I think, you know, this Boy Scout group lasted about 2 or 3 weeks because the dads were just blindsided with this new responsibility that they didn't ask to take on, and I think it just kind of fell apart. Happy belated birthday, Jesus. It's a big old boat right there. This restaurant here advertises their air conditioning, which honestly is one of the most important things to me when picking out a restaurant. No air conditioning, no service. Just check out that awesome sign right there, the Seven Gables Motel and Restaurant. Yeah, look at that vintage motel office, a little star in the middle. Very cool to find these old vintage places in these small towns. I actually am getting a little hungry, but unfortunately this place is closed for the season. Goodie Shack. I really would have loved to have eaten the world's best hot dog. All right, check out what we got here. An old drive-in theater. You can see the old screen right there. I wonder what's inside. All right, let's head through the gate here and see what's going on in the theater. It's that big old massive screen over there. You can see the speakers actually are not there anymore. They've removed them. Some of the more modern theaters just use your radio to give you the movie sound. And look here, there's actually a second screen back there. I'm no expert on drive-in theaters, but I've not seen one that has 2 separate screens. I'm not even sure the purpose. Would you actually play 2 movies at once? Okay, so that's why they call it the twin drive-in, because there's twin screens. All right, I've stopped off for a second here in Cave City, Kentucky. It's one of my favorite places, a very old school tourist area, but I've never actually been to the downtown area before, so I got out and just looked around a little bit. Now this looks like a big strong building right here, but sadly it's unfit for human occupancy. I guess this looks like it was at one point some sort of bank, because it says bank right there. Oh yeah, it's almost Valentine's Day. This is Dawn's Addiction. Look at these creepy mannequins here. And look at that lady there. Oh my goodness. Check this guy out. Believe it or not, I actually know who this is. This is Hillbilly Hound. She's the mascot of a defunct amusement park / mini golf course in Cave City. I think what makes him just a little creepy is that they clearly used real glass eyes. Oh my gosh, that is haunting. I was fascinated by old laundromats. Look at this super old candy vending machine that's still in action. Candy looks pretty new. Some old arcade games to occupy your time while you're waiting for your laundry. This is some sort of golfing game. And who didn't beg their mom for change every time they saw something like this when they were kids? Now I did want to stop and check on this building. This is the former Mammoth Cave Wax Museum. It's been closed for quite a few years, and it's supposedly opening as a new museum. And they've actually done quite a bit of work back here behind the Wax Museum, but I'm really not sure what exactly is going on. Yeah, back here behind the Wax Museum. Oh my gosh, look at this. These are some discarded figures. I don't know if these are wax or these are Looks like synthetic heads. These are not as worth as much. Oh, that. Check out that. That is pretty spooky. Oh my gosh. Whose head is this? Oh my gosh. I mean, look at that. That is, ooh. Just taking a quick peek inside. It looks like most of the wax displays have been completely removed, but I do see a casket, a red, white, and blue casket in there. That looks like it's been pretty much gutted. And over here is some of the wax bodies. See their little shoes, those buckles must have been a pilgrim or a leprechaun or something. Oh, hey, kitty. And I guess here's what's coming. It's called Treasure Trove Park. They have a creation museum, King of Kings creation museum, and Hatfields and McCoys, maybe a exhibit on the Hatfield McCoys, or I don't know, it could be another dinner show, or I don't know, Kentuckiana Jones, the extreme treasure hunter, having an ancient artifacts museum. We'll have to check that out next time. I'm not sure when all this is opening, maybe summer? And this here is Raven's Cross. It's a cool looking haunted house, but of course we're out of season right now. If we peek in here, you can see just a bunch of bodies. It's like it's packed with dead bodies. Why can't haunted houses run every day of the year? What's wrong, kitty? What's wrong, kitty? Yeah, you're a nice kitty. A little bit of horror going on in there. Yeah, peeking in the waiting room here. There's a room of horrors. Hey, kitty. You have a room of horrors and then a kitty to cancel that out. Wait a minute. There's two of them. And this one here is a collar, so they most likely belong to someone. Alright guys, you need to quit crawling under my car. I gotta leave. Check that out. Got us a Yogi Bear. Alright, I have made it to Indiana, my home state, where I spent much time as a child, known as the Crossroads of America. Me and my friends used to joke about that they called it the Crossroads of America, because, you know, no one ever stops there, they just drive on through. And then it's also the Lincoln's boyhood home. It's interesting how the different states all try to claim Lincoln. Indiana is his boyhood home, Kentucky is the birthplace of Lincoln, and then Illinois is the land of Lincoln because he practiced law there. So 3 states fighting for their Lincoln credibility. At least this sign gives old Benjamin Harrison some props. The America's Hoosier president. Hoosier is the strangest word. It is what people from Indiana are called Hoosiers, and literally no one knows why. But anyways, I have some very important business to attend to here in Indiana. In the meantime, check the interactive map in the description to see all the places that I have visited. If you'd like to help support the channel, consider buying a t-shirt, consider donating to Patreon, and if you donate at least $3, you will receive a postcard once a month. But for now, this one's in the bag.